Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, back to another episode of The Watcher's Point of View. Your host, JP Spector, and with me, as usual, that fat girl, Dana.
Hi.
Oh, it's not your usual.
Hi.
Not hi.
I don't know. I'm a little amped up on
I don't want to know what you're amped
stone
up
energy.
Oh boy.
Have
You know what?
stones with me.
Yeah, but let's describe stone before people.
I'm not stoned,
There we go. Let's acknowledge that first.
but I have stones.
Crystals, things of that nature, rocks, yeah.
Yes.
Because people aren't going to understand the terminology stones right away. Well, take that back. Some people will. But, it's not something that, oh, I'm stoned. What the fuck?
Yes, because I do not partake. That is not my thing.
Right. No.
I mean, you could do it all you want. I don't care. But for me, it's not. It's a no-go.
Back to our intro. Welcome back to the Walker's Point of View. Glad you can make it. Glad everyone's back. Hope everyone's doing well. Quick apology for our last episode for the meditation. We still, to this day, don't know what happened. Apparently, like I said, we checked the mix board. Mix board's still the same as it is right now. But the wild echo we had during the whole thing, that was nuts. And we didn't realize it until it's like, okay, we got everything, post. And then it's like, okay, post, everything's good. And I was sitting here, echo. I'm like, what happened?
No clue.
So apologies for that. We will redo that at a later date again. And I shouldn't say redo, because we don't redo anything.
Right.
But we will do another
We'll do
meditation.
another type of thing.
Another
again.
meditation challenge. Get people going. I've had some good results, though. I've had people call up and me direct who have followed. Got a couple messages on Facebook and a couple messages on Instagram. So,
Really?
Yeah. A couple people were like, very spooky. I was like, well, let's define spooky. Yeah. A lot of spookiness was from their own personal experiences that they didn't think they would actually have.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, before we get into those details, a couple quick things. First off, thank you to our sponsors. Dells, Wisconsin Dells, I'm sorry.
Somebody's stoned, but not really. Let's try that again.
Wow, you went there with me?
It's because I love you.
Thank you to our sponsors, Wisconsin Dells House of Jerky. Thank you for all you guys do. Thank you for supporting us and the veterans and the community as a whole. Appreciate that. Also, want to give a shout out to my boy Kyle, who's out there doing his walk right now, 300 because he's my brother. Another shout out to Save 22, all the other veteran organizations that are out here right now. Greatly appreciate all the work you guys are doing out here. And keep that awareness going until that number is 0. So we have a long haul ahead of us, but let's keep it going. Also, I said I was going to talk about Brother Fred. I actually picked up a couple of videos from YouTube of him. And watching those videos, it made me feel like I was back sitting with him again. And I thought about I should tell Fred's story again and tell people what I experienced. But that's my story I have with Fred.
Right.
I want people to hear it from his mouth.
Makes sense.
So what we're going to do in the description below, we'll have the links to those YouTube channels that actually have his story on there. But yet, please check these out. He's talking about it you can tell he's stoned, man. You can tell he's a Marine. Because he's like, oh yeah, I went through this, and I weighed this much, and they fed us this. I escaped this time, and they found me, and they beat me up pretty good. But I escaped again. And I'm like, what the? I'm like, damn, this dude's made of iron. So when you hear his story, and you hear what he went through from his mouth himself, and then you hear again about the story of him at the hospital, acting a fool, myself, Jason, a couple other people, when we went over there to see him, how he lit up, and of course him having a smoke, us getting caught on camera, which is classic, and overall people finding out more about Fred. You can understand more why we were like, Oh, if he wants to smoke, he can smoke.
Right.
You know, if a man who's dealt with all that wants to go out, let him do the Frank Sinatra. Let him go out his way. It's let him do him right now. If this is going to make him comfortable, make him happy, let's keep him that way. You would understand it more. You'd be
Right.
more sympathetic to what and how we are around him, and understand what a good heart he actually had. Like I said, he was ornery, ornery, ornery. Oh, he was a salty dog for sure. But nothing you wouldn't do for the guy after you meet him. After you meet him and talk to him for like 5 minutes, you're just like, oh yeah, whatever Fred wants, Fred gets. Yeah, we'll do that. So definitely gonna do that for Fred. Another thing I wanted to go over before we go over back into all of our spiritual stuff that we're going to talk about is something that I actually had seen over the weeks after we did episode 5. And my biggest thing that I dealt with personally was watching people who have recently passed away. And whether it be friends of friends, things of that nature, I kept hearing people going, "Oh my God, she was such a good person. Oh, they were such a good person. Oh, he was a good guy. We loved him. He was a pillar community friend to all. Blah blah blah." And it's like, wow, did you tell that to the person while they were alive?
Right.
And I don't want to sound like a jerk or a jag here,
Right.
but I'm glad you're acknowledging that person for who they are. I'm glad you're acknowledging them for,
Posthumously.
yeah, I'm like the positive things that person did. Oh, they were active in this community. They helped this. Oh, they did this. They did that. Did you tell that person any of that while they were alive to hear it?
Right.
That's where I'm at with it. It's like, and I don't want to, like I said, come off like a jerk about it, but
Tell the
don't,
people while
right,
they're here.
don't wait until someone's in a casket and you're doing the obituary.
Right.
Don't wait till you're at the gravesite. Don't wait till you're at the crematorium or, you get a urn in your hand. Don't wait for that. That's
Right.
And Jesus, don't wait until they're in a freaking like their deathbed.
Right.
You were a good person and you were great. No, you don't want to hear that. Your last things you hear. I'm not
Right.
saying those are bad things to hear, but yeah, it's better hearing that you're a low life piece of crap and we hope you burn. I hope your reincarnation sucks
Wow.
ass.
Hope you come back as a snail.
Walt Disney flick, so you're jacked up. But it's tell the person while they're alive. Man.
Yeah.
And that's why, I had a brief moment where I thought about that for a while. And I thought people like my VP, I haven't talked to him like I used to on a regular basis because I was going through my own mental thing. But I remember him telling me, take your time. I'm not going anywhere. I understand what you're dealing with. Do you? I'm not going anywhere. It's like, trust me, I'm not leaving your side. I got you. And sometimes that's all you need to hear.
Yep.
And it's like, it started making me think about Sean the Veteran Guy. Where when I met him, he goes, "Oh, I have so much anxiety going up on stage, and I have anxiety this, I have anxiety that." And I was like, no. It's like I told you when you did your podcast with me. You don't have anxiety, you have passion. You have a mindset and you have passion. You've been told it's anxiety, but it's not. You just don't know how to direct energy. I said, do what you need to do for your persona to let your passion go out. And literally, that's when he was working on the book. Ever since then, his book came out, Mindset 2.0, and he's doing this stuff on TikTok because Facebook actually banned him.
Really?
Sean has a very aggressive approach to stuff. And what I mean by aggressive is he's not going to sit there and kiss butt. Okay? He's not a butt kisser. His thing is, I'm going to say what I want to say, freedom of speech. And anybody who's been in the armed forces, I don't care if it's Marines, Air Force, Coast Guard, whatever, when you sign your name on that dotted line and say, Uncle Sam can cash this in when he wants, you fight for those freedoms. You can And I feel that's one of those things. You went out there, you put the work in, you get to say what you want to say. It's part of your freedom of speech because you fought for that freedom because nothing's free here.
Mm-hmm.
You know. So my thing is, yeah, that's your perk for doing what you did, and God bless all of our armed forces people, past, present, and future, for everything that you do and for signing that dotted line. Not everybody has the seeds to do that.
I
So,
do not.
or the ovaries. You know, hey, I'm inclusive. I'm inclusive. And
Ovaries.
well, there's actually a guy that I follow on TikTok called the Fat Electrician, and
Yeah, I've seen you post him a few times. I've never watched them, but
he
I've seen you
is
post him.
comical and classic. Like I said, he falls in line with that whole hey, this is what the military is about, and he just lets it go. Talks about the different MOSs. He'll talk about grunts, snipers, doc, and yeah, he's he's aggressive, but I like him. You know,
Of course.
well, most of the guys who are aggressive, they keep it real. You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
but like I said, I like Sean's style, and I had to let him know, hey, that's your passion. And like I said, he's on TikTok, he's letting it ride.
Mm-hmm.
But that's like less filters for him, where he can just keep it real. But then I like Kyle's approach too, and Van Booth's approach. These
Mm-hmm.
guys are out there, walking coast to coast from different states and getting the message out there, raising the awareness for the military,
Mm-hmm.
for these service people who have got to a point where they are losing their battles with their demons and they need help.
Right.
And, they need the programs out here. They need to have a place to go to cut loose and not hold all this in.
Mm-hmm.
And there again, like I said, you got someone who's went overseas and they come back home and they're getting rotated out. Where's your decompression time
Mm-hmm.
to decompress from what you just got through dealing with to coming home and there's a wife, kids, and dogs there
And a
waiting
whole
for you,
society who really doesn't realize there's a war still going on.
and you just left a war zone and you maybe had 24-hour, 48-hour from point A to point B,
Mm-hmm.
rotated out, maybe 72 hours, but you don't have that, okay, I'm going back to the world.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go see my family again. Oh, God, I can't wait. I'm going to eat real food again. There's no, like, here, let's prep you up. Here, let's, like, there's
What
no,
would that look like, though?
for me,
For
for me to put something like that together,
yeah.
what I would like to do or see is something actually my friend and I talked about, and he's a Marine. And we said we would like to see on every base or somewhere near the base itself, it's like your golden ticket area. So it's going to be like, Willy Wonka's chocolate factory. When you're rotating out, your ETS is over, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
You go to this place and you just decompress. You eat your food that you haven't eaten in a while. You're not eating out of a MRE bag or anything.
Mm-hmm.
You get to have that Burger King, that McDonald's. Not that I'm a fan of McDonald's or Burger King, but yeah.
Well,
But
Burger King does have the veggie burger. That's why I go
well,
there.
and once again though, and we might have somebody who's vegan in there.
Right.
Have them go over to that area and just relax, party, celebrate, listen to some music, decompress, get a little bit of the good bourbon in them, and have that, I'll say 3 days, a week there before you head home. Get your time to yourself right now to realize you are leaving the service right now.
Mm-hmm.
A place that you've been in service to for the past, whether you did 4-door or 8 in gate, 4 years or 8 years, if you didn't go career, whatever you decided to do, you went there, handled your business. Now you're going to go back home to your family. You just don't go from, hey, I just got through, wrecking it and humping all this equipment to I'm back here now because I took a plane and I'm about to take another plane home because I just did a 2-hour, PowerPoint presentation and
Now I'm
yeah,
gonna mow the lawn.
right. Welcome home, honey. Welcome to this, welcome to that. You don't, you like to see that, but you might want some downtime.
Yeah, it's not everyone. Like some people can compartmentalize really easily, and other people do need to have that break. So maybe that's not for everyone, but
because we don't know what you went through over there.
exactly.
And that's why, I would say give someone that breathing room before you just throw them back into a world that they were programmed not to know any longer.
Right.
You get someone from the civilian world, and if you look at a real documentary on transitioning from civilian to military, and I'm talking about you don't see this stuff where they're like, okay, everybody get off the bus now. When you get to see the real stuff, get off that bus, get on the red library. When they're
Right.
yelling, and they're telling you, you will go enter through these bulkheads, and people are like, bulkheads? What's a bulkhead? You know, and it's like, what are you doing? Put that, blouse those pants. Blouse those pants? What do you mean, blouse the pants? And you're learning the different jargon, terminology used in the military, and then you're going to come back home and be like, oh, let's put this over this on this bulkhead here. And people are like, huh, what? Or it's like your flashlight moonbeam, we call it a flashlight. People are like, oh, it's a moonbeam. Oh, you got a nightstick on you? I mean, an ink stick? An ink stick? What's an ink stick?
I have no idea.
But it's a pen.
Oh, okay. I guess
and-
that makes sense.
But it's, once again, when someone tells you blouse your boots, and, it's like, huh? Blouse that pants leg up. Huh? What? Huh?
Iron
And
it?
tuck
I don't know.
the pants, tuck the pants into your boots.
Got it.
Lace them up. But you'll have people rotating back from that just instantaneously. No, that's a whole lifestyle.
Well, because it took, I don't know, how long is like boot camp?
It depends on where you're at.
Okay. So let's say.
You get, sometimes like you get 8 weeks, sometimes 13. It just depends on where you're at.
So
And that's just,
you took that much time to get to
but that's
that
just
point.
boot.
Right.
That's not even your MOS.
No,
schooling.
right. But I'm just saying, like, it took you that far, long to get that far, and then you're supposed to go back
And don't forget,
in hours?
that's drilled into you also.
Right.
Someone telling you Reveille's at 0600. Yes, sir. Go to bed. All right. So everyone's like, man, Reveille's at 6 o'clock in the morning. All right. Next thing you know, you get some DI who's sitting there going, yeah, I just take 2 Red Bulls here, and I'm going to drink a pot of coffee. Oh, gee, look at that. It's 4:15 in the morning. Well, if I'm up, Squad Bay's up. And then they go in there, start screaming Reveille to you, and you're like looking around, and you're like, it's not 0600.
There's so
I'm
many
awake.
lies.
If I'm awake, you're awake. Let's go. And you're like, oh my God. But
No.
but that's some of the stuff that these people will endure.
Right.
Or sometimes there's a cyclone or a tornado that goes through the bay, and there's things tossed all over the place, and you got to get it cleaned up, and that's not normal. See, normal people don't deal with that.
What?
That's military stuff. But once again, you go through all this military training. You get your specialty. You're either a grunt, a doc, whatever you get into, for whatever faction of the military you go to, whether it's Army, Marine, Air Force, Navy. And it's brutal. And it's like, people are like, well, you can always be a cookie, which is a cook. Mm-hmm. And then if you ever seen what these cooks have to go through, or their time frames,
I know what I have to do as a lunch lady, and I can only imagine feeding an entire battalion of people.
and don't be on the ship.
Yeah,
I feel
exactly.
I feel sorry for ship cooks.
'Cause
It's like,
no.
they stay in there like for 13, 14 hours
Yeah, I'm
at a
good.
time, or 16 hours at a time. I'm
I'm
like,
good.
but where's your rest and where's your downtime, and how do you?
That's not a thing.
It doesn't feel like it. So God bless these people. Mm-hmm. And that goes back to the whole thing of talk to people while they're here. Mm-hmm. And that's why, when I talk to like Save 22, to Tom, and, great job, because he always thought, well, we're from a small town. Yeah, but look what you did.
Right.
Look what you've done. Mm-hmm. Look at everything you've accomplished,
Well,
bro.
it's kind of hard to see what you've accomplished while it's happening.
I will definitely agree with that, but it's almost smacking them in the face. It's like Save 22, man, is out there. People know it. The veteran community is well aware of who they are. And like I said, I love spreading their message. Like, even if I see something that they've done with NASCAR, where someone sponsored Save 22, I'll just post it. You know, if like he just had this thing, he was talking about this horse program, and I'm like, give me that guy's information, post it. You know?
I didn't see that because you know I'd be interested in that.
Of course you would.
What?
You know, but
I like the ponies.
it's just that everything I see that they do is so positive. Throw it on. I'll just throw it on my page. You know, because I want people to just, even if they like skip like looking at some of the stuff that I advertise with Sneak, you know, with I like GoPro, as they can kind of see from up here. You know, looking at all my stuff that I'm into.
Although we are not actually
You know,
filming on GoPro.
well, we're not filming on GoPro at all. But you know, I have that stuff for the vehicle,
Right.
and for going out for other locations.
Speaking of vehicles, I really want one of those. What are they? Sprints? I forget the.
Oh, the Sprinters? Yeah, okay.
I want
know
two of
what you're talking about.
those.
When you said Sprint, I'm like,
Not
no,
the
then
phone company.
I remembered Sprinters, yeah.
Yeah, I want two of those.
Well, I think, doesn't Dodge make those?
No, those are Mercedes, but Dodge does have a version, and I can't remember what they're called. But Nefera wants me to get those instead, because
Well, you get
she's
your
a
computer
Dodge
there.
girl.
We might as well look up Sprinter while I
Well,
go.
I can't look it up because I don't think I'm on the internet. over
Okay.
here.
Well, we'll find out. So, anyway.
Well, we'll put it down here.
What?
Nothing. But, no, that is, like I said, back to, like, Save 22 and, like, all these other veteran groups out here. Tell these people they're doing a good job.
Exactly.
You know, tell them, you know what, you're doing a good job. You know, and I'm not saying that you got to kiss anyone's ass, but the positive reinforcement just gives us as a whole, if someone says, hey, you know what, good job, you know, you're not looking to get the pat on the head.
Right.
But all of a sudden, you have that subconscious thing of, let me do more now.
Right. Well, you know
So
what? Sometimes it's really
almost like
hard.
motivating.
Sometimes it's really hard for some people to take compliments. I am one of those people.
I get that 100%.
And I have actually been working on it really hard in the last like 5 years. But I had just finished a show in a theater that I've been working for 3 months with. And it's a tradition, either on opening night or closing night, to write all your castmates like a thank you card. So that is positive reinforcement
Right.
that we do in our theater community, which is something that I think more people should do, to be honest with
Positive reinforcement is where it's at.
Yeah.
And that's part of the affirmations that I talk about too. Affirming that you are worthy, you are good, you are, you know, everything that you should be, and you are going to be more. And I've had people ask me, they're like, so who does your editing? And once again, I say, well, I don't edit. We don't
We
edit
don't edit.
anything
I
out.
just do camera angles.
I was like, that part is it, but I was like, we don't edit. And I was like, if we bloop I'm like, you get everything. You get the bloopers, everything while it's going on. There is
yeah.
no in between with us. You know, and that goes back to the whole echoing of the
Right.
microphones. It's like, oh my God, great. These microphones are echoing. You know, we still couldn't figure out why, but it's the same setting. So hopefully we don't have that issue this time. But anyway,
We'll be fine.
back to the deal at hand. It's the same thing, but people need to hear that, you know, while they're alive, because
Yes.
you're telling somebody, oh my God, I'm going to miss you. You know, you're gone now. And okay, is that for you? Because it sure isn't from the person who passed on. Because, and the only reason I'm
yes
saying,
and no, it is.
but the reason I'm saying that is to enlighten others to start appreciating the people in your life.
right.
You know, it's like people ask me, well, like I said earlier, who does all your editing? And now, of course, we don't do editing. I said, but, you know, Dana is the one who handles all the stuff for me. I was like, she's a genius with this. And I always, like, I talk you up about it.
I know. I'm not a genius.
I said,
I'm
but, you
pretty
know,
awesome, though.
Pretty awesome. Yeah. Cocky!
I'm really not.
I know you're not, but I had to give it to you on that one. But I even tell people, I was like, for what I've seen you do and the time frame I've seen you do it in, I would still be in the first half of knocking out, putting the intro and the music and the photos together.
Yeah, and that
Where
took
you're-
me like 5 seconds.
Right, and you're already like halfway through going, okay, everything looks good. Okay, let's do this angle. Let's do that angle. Okay, you wanted to add a picture here. Okay, no problem. Okay, that's good. Okay, you wanted to insert this. Okay, no problem.
Oh,
You wanna
yeah,
do this
that
here?
last
Okay,
one that
fade out, no problem.
That last one where you had me put all the stuff in, I was like, that's a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
There's still more.
But that was, I wanted people to finally see some of the things that we endorse. And like Sneak, I love their energy drink.
I do too.
The reason I like them, they're just upfront. They're transparent. Their label is transparent as transparent can be. Versus G Fuel, I'm still a Sneak fan, period. There's a lot of other energy drinks out here. They're like, oh, we're clean. We have clean energy. And I've tried a couple of them, and they suck. Now, there is a group, though, called Kill Cliff.
Okay.
And a couple people are telling me, oh, yeah, try Kill Cliff. And I'm like, yeah, okay, whatever. And because I don't do energy drinks.
Right.
Period. It's like the Sneak is a big vitamin. So
Yeah.
unless you're doing
With
something.
some caffeine.
Yeah, a little caffeine, that's in my coffee and in my tea. So.
God, a vitamin.
I'm not worried about it, So, but it's less caffeine than a 5-hour energy.
Yeah, those
You
are.
know.
Yeah.
So,
I'd probably have a heart attack, literally, if I had one.
right. So I looked at Kill Cliff, right? I'm like, well, let me check this out. Flavors that I've had so far, like the blood orange, the bomb.
Really? Do you happen to have any? I can take some later.
No. If you like lime, I do
hate
have
lime.
Okay, I have cherry limeade, and it's more of a lime flavor than cherry, so you actually have to like lime
I do
in
not.
order to like it. The fruit punch is ungodly good. I'm still digging the blood orange though, because I've always liked blood orange.
Yeah,
period.
I like blood orange too.
But then just stick with the blood orange.
Okay.
You cannot go wrong with their blood orange, and they're also part of I think it's the Navy SEALs Foundation.
Oh,
So portion of that goes down to them and everything. So yeah,
Cool.
check out Kill Cliff, man. They're business, and if you're a first responder, military, they do automatically once you submit your information. You submit it once, you're automatically logged in for a discount each and every time.
nice.
So you don't have to, submit a code or anything. You automatically get a discount. So you get a discount if you subscribe. I don't subscribe, but I do have a.
Why don't you subscribe?
I don't like subscriptions. I'm not really a subscription fan.
Why?
Well, when you're paying your bills, the last thing you want is a subscription to pop out, and then you have to go pay, something for your vehicle,
Okay.
this, that, and the
Got it,
other,
got
and
it,
then you
got
don't
it.
have the money in the. Yeah, it's not worth it. So I'd rather get it when I need it.
Makes sense.
Yeah, but like I said, the other groups that are out here, like I said, that's why I got 300 because he's my brother. I want people to know there's veteran groups out here to look into to help you out. If
To
you know-
volunteer for.
Oh, definitely volunteer for
Exactly.
Canines for Veterans. If you have not for profit, but if you have dogs, get a hold of Mike Tellerino from Canines from Veterans. Canines for Veterans. Let them know we sent you.
Right.
Please. If you have dogs that you found, you don't want them to go to a kill shelter, things of that nature. Get
They
us
still
down.
have kill shelters?
Yeah.
What the heck?
So and like I said, Mike's thing is give us the dogs. We'll take the dogs in. We'll train them. And I've gone to his events, and you'll have easy 15, 20 veterans there with their dogs.
Cool.
And they're not like Chihuahuas either.
Right.
I'm talking about some of these are German Shepherds. I've seen Dobermans. I've seen Pits. I've seen Rots. I've seen damn near every breed of dog.
French bulldogs. They're my favorite.
I haven't seen that yet.
Really?
I'm not saying that he doesn't have
They're
somebody
so
who
cute.
doesn't have a bully. Mm-hmm. He might have someone that has a bully. I'm not sure.
They're so cute.
But like I said, he does great work, man. And I've seen how these dogs have really helped these vets out. And I've been to the
Awesome.
events, and not as the Watcher's point of view, but as Royal Reapers.
Right.
And I've gone to the events, man, and just you can see how thankful everyone is there. Everybody's really thankful to still be here.
And that's a
And
good thing.
that is the best thing. They're like, you know what? This program helped me. I'm able to function now like I normally did prior to this. And you start hearing it, and it's like, oh, that's awesome. And then they'll see like people like myself and some other people who might not be veterans, but who are civilians who believe in the veteran cause, who want to raise awareness. And they're like, we still need people like you. Thank you for coming. Thank you for showing up. Just your presence is great being here. But that goes back to what I said. Tell people while they're alive.
Exactly.
Tell people, hello, we appreciate you while you're alive.
Tell someone today.
Please do.
Just pick somebody.
Call people up. That's why at 22, the 22nd day, call up. It's a buddy check. Save 22. Hey, buddy check day. You good? Two is
I
one,
didn't
one is
know
another.
that. Oh,
It's like, hey,
See,
how
I'm
you
learning.
doing? Everything good? You all right? And a lot of times there'll be mass posts where you'll put, roll call, check up,
yeah, I've seen you do that, but I've never really paid attention to the day.
and be like, hey, good to go. Everybody starts leaving little messages. You don't have to put nothing long down there. Just, hey, I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm good. And
Or I need help. And that's
a lot of
That's
times,
good.
and I'm an Xbox fan too. A lot of people are like, oh my God, you don't like PS. No, I don't.
I was an Xbox
Hey,
person too.
I'm not against PlayStation. That's why I started off on, Then I grew up.
Awkward.
Awkward. No, but on a serious note, got on the Xbox and things. And believe it or not, there's guys that I've talked to on the Xbox and game with on a regular basis. They'll come home and they're like, okay, we're going to get on this game today. I'm like, all right, cool, let's handle business. Midway through, somebody could be like not acting like they normally do, stupid, silly, just cutting loose. And it's like, hey, what's going on? Had a bad day. All of a sudden, you just see pause come across your screen. It's like, okay, like who paused the game? And whoever the group leader is would pause the game. And next thing you know, we're all in there for about 45 minutes, an hour and a half, helping that person out of their day. Whatever was bothering them during that time, we're discussing it. And it's just a game. Well, yeah, here's just a game then.
Here's the thing
Because
about Xbox.
That loosens
Like,
it up.
it's either that or it's let's kill the noobs. Like, like
Well, you're gonna kill the noobs anyway. That's,
well, I mean, it's like
that's
just
a given.
there's like either like the whole what's the word I'm looking for?
Competitiveness.
No, collaborativeness of it. When you get your team, like, okay,
Crush, kill, destroy.
I've dated gamers for a long time, and I'm not really a good gamer at all. I'm really not. I cannot do first-person shooter to save my life, but I can beat the crap out of you in fighting games.
Oh, button masher, you're called.
Yes, I am.
Button masher.
And I'm really good at it. But I do understand the community of it and how people can get really close together. But I can also understand, like, the other side of it where everyone is just a jerk.
Well, I will say this. The group of guys I've known now, most of them I've known since 2002. And we still game together. And some of the other guys I've known since 2009, and the other group was 11. And we're still gaming today.
That's really weird because that's the exact years of my cars. It's really strange. Okay.
But what's actually funny is while my dad was alive, we actually had a get-together one time.
Oh, you told me about that.
And, well, see, the watchers don't know about this, though.
Ah, this is true.
So we had a get-together. Everybody was having fun, this, that, and the other. And Dad, I want to say about 2 weeks later, that's when he had his heart attack. And I think that would be what, 2014. That's when that actually happened. And I remember freaking out because I was at work at my side deal at the time. And I was like, okay. I'm like, that's not cool. And checked on him, fine. All right. So they sent him home. Next day, I'm at work at my main job, and I get the call. And when I got the call, I kind of freaked out. And everybody's like, well, before you leave, calm down. You're excited. You're upset right now. Breathe. I'm like, all right, cool. And after that, I sped over there to the hospital. And when I got there, he looked like Darth Vader. He had every effing machine hooked up to him.
Oh my gosh.
I'm talking about, it was bad. I just knew it was bad at that point. And I'm looking at some of the machinery, and I'm like, and I asked the paramedic, I said, was my dad, blue? Was he Sinek? And they're like, well, I was like, I kind of need to know. He goes, well, sir, I know you're the son, and, but he's here now. I was like, I'm curious, how long was he without? And he was kind of doing one of those like, well, he's here, blah, blah, blah. I was like, I just need to know. And he kind of looked over at me. I was like, dude, I used to do your job.
Right.
And he goes, oh. I'm like, just put my mind at ease. Him and I broke bread, and I was like, man, appreciate it. Because then I found out what was going on, so now I can kind of get a better idea before the doctors come in and try to BS me.
Right.
Of, well, everything's going to be fine. We have some complications here, but we're going to do. So after I spoke to him, then I was like, all right, looking at what was going on, I'm like, all right, cool. Dad's going to be okay. For now, at least. Which he was, but he had that defibrillator put in now.
Yeah.
His heart was effed up. But during that whole thing, when he went to his main hospital, I had sent a message out to the brothers saying, hey, listen, the old man's going in for surgery. I'm going to be away from, the Xbox for a while, for a couple days, until I get stuff squared away at, my parents' house, this, that, and the other, right? Wow. And that's why I said, just a game. The day of him going in to the hospital, in the surgery, I just gave him a hug and a kiss, say, hey, you know what, you'll be out in a couple hours, calm the F down, you'll be good, okay? He just gave me that grin that he always gave me, and whoosh, they rolled his ass in. And I'm sitting there going, oh, Jesus Christ, please let him be okay. Because it's his heart. You don't know. And like I said, they had him hooked up pretty deep.
Yeah.
I want to say Mom and I were sitting there for about maybe 10 minutes in the waiting room. My phone starts going off. And I'm like, hey, what's up? Oh, nothing, man. Listen, we're about 2 hours out, but we're going to be staying over here. Oh, okay. What are you guys doing coming around this side of town? Well, you said Dad's in the hospital. Yeah. Well, we're making sure you're okay. Excuse me? You're what? And these brothers were literally either driving or flying in out of town.
Wow.
Leaving their jobs and their families to come over here to make sure I was okay. Now, mind you, we had actually, as a fluke and a joke one day, said, why don't we all get together and hang out? And next thing you know, 5 of us hanging out turned to 12 of us hanging out. Every year it got bigger and bigger. But that opened up my eyes, though, a lot. Because these guys, we didn't know each other until we started playing video games.
Right.
And then when
And you've never even actually seen them, most of them, before.
Yes and no. There's 1 or 2 that we actually did not meet.
Okay.
Because they didn't come to the gathering that we had.
Right.
But in general, yes, I did meet a good portion of these cats.
Right, but not before you started playing.
No, not before I started playing. No,
Right.
no. I knew, like, the guys I work with that we played together. Yeah, that was about 3 or 4. But these other guys, no. But when we met, and like I said, they're leaving their families, coming out here. They're like, "Hey, listen, I'm on the road. I'm here. I just landed." I was like, "Wait, what are you guys doing?" They're like, "We're here for you." They're like, "We'll be here. We're in town. Whatever you need, let us know." Wow. You can't make that up,
No.
and that kind of bond and camaraderie is what a lot of people are missing. And some of the guys in the military, and the reason I bring that up is people you don't know. Because a lot of guys, you go in the military, you don't know these other people who you're racking next to.
Right.
But you go out here, you do this, you do that, you bond with these people, and then they hear you're in a spot, or you're in a not in a mental place, and next thing you know, everyone's there for you. Camaraderie. And with Save 22 and all these other programs, it brings back that camaraderie to let the people know that they're not alone.
Right.
And I've seen, like, with police, fire, medical, especially nowadays, everybody's like, "Oh, I'm on an island by myself. I'm on an island by myself." No, you're not alone. And there's other people reaching out to other people saying, "Hey, I got your six." And sometimes people hearing that alone is enough
Yeah.
to know they're not alone. And it goes back to what I've been saying. Tell people in advance while they're here, "I'm proud of you. Keep doing what you're doing. I like what you're doing. You're doing a great job." Let people know. And it's like, "I support what you're doing." Like with us, hit the like and subscribe button. Might as well throw it out there. It's like, "Hey, I like what you
Yeah.
guys are doing. You guys are saying something positive. We're talking about affirmations." We don't really hit about a lot of politics here. We don't hit a lot
No.
of political stuff. We don't hit a
Because
lot
we'd
of
probably argue really bad.
Oh, yeah. Well, no, you and I were pretty good, though.
Well,
But
I'm pretty giving as a person.
yeah, exactly. And we don't hit up really controversial topics that
Right.
are going on in the world right now,
Right.
because there's no need for divide. There's already enough divide going
Right.
on.
Right.
This is the one political thing I will say that's political, not political. We have too much freaking divide in this world right now, when we need more people coming together.
Right.
We need
Because
less.
they divide and conquer.
Well, that too.
Hello.
But there's a lot of shaming going on too.
Yeah, but that's part of the
Divide and conquer. No, I get it. I get it. So that's what I'm saying. I've seen people lose relationships, like 15, 20 years relationships, over not agreeing.
Yeah.
And I'm like, "Whoa, what?"
Right.
And what do we talk about? Agree to disagree. Open heart, open mind. This is what we always discuss.
Right.
And then to hear people just say, "Well, I don't agree with them. My feelings are hurt," or "I don't like that because that triggered me," or this, that, the other, or "This person's just a bad person because they have this belief system in this religion. I'm no longer talking to them." Like, your kids kind of grew up together and they're in their teens right now, and all of a sudden you're gonna just break that totally. Or it's like, well,
I wanna
it's
figure
weird.
out how. Well, I kind of already know how. As a society, we have become a me society instead of a we society.
Exactly.
And
Yes,
it all started with
yes.
self-help books in the 80s. I'm
You
almost
believe that?
positive.
You
I
believe that?
totally
Okay.
believe it.
Okay.
Because you are so important. It's all about you. You are great. You are this.
The problem is the way some of those books were wrote for people to understand the affirmation of "I am" and how strong to understand the words "I am" are, but the way it's actually interpreted.
Right. Just
It's
like
the-
any religion, it is not interpreted as it was implied.
And that's, and what have I always said? You should affirm you are good. You are this.
Right.
But you should acknowledge it. It shouldn't be coming from someone else from a position of authority
Right.
to tell you that, in the sense of you should know your worth prior to.
But you should
So-
also know that the community that you are involved with is
Speak on it.
is more important than just the one person.
Exactly. So, and like I said, there's a lot of teeter-totter with that. There's a lot of pendulum swing that can go both ways with that, depending on the specific topic, not a generalization like you and I are discussing right now.
Right.
And it's, once again, just separation is ridiculous. And, people are going through so much and they're closing themselves off to prevent a lot of their own natural, and I'll say it again, natural awakenings from happening. When you're that closed off or that just and you have that much anger or loathing, you prevent yourself from going to the next plateau.
Right.
You are blocking your natural progression and progression of self.
Right.
And by doing that, it's going to cause you a lot of issues in the future. That's if you're trying to climb to those next plateaus.
Right. But
Some
I
people
would
are.
say there's a lot of people who don't even know that that's a thing.
Well,
Not that listen to
And-
us, of course, because
I would say this: the media is 85% of the issue. I was going to say 90, but I'm going to go 85% of the issue is the current media. And what I mean by that is platforms that we use, Facebook. A lot of people have to understand, like fact checkers, they're fact checking little comic strips. I'm like, why? It's comical. It's Batman and Robin. It's Batman slapping the dog snot out of Robin. And while he's slapping the dog snot out of Robin, he's making some wild ass comment.
right.
And Robin is getting his lips turned 90 degrees the opposite direction. Okay? That's all it is. And it's something super stupid, super comical. And 3 days later, you'll see this has misinformation. It's been fact checked.
And you're like, but
And
it's
it's
it's not like
And some of the stuff, and some of the stuff that's on there, they're fact checking, isn't political.
right.
It isn't things about, I'll say it, it's not about our current president. It's not about anything dealing with vaccines. It's not about that. It's literally comical, like change my mind kind of things. And it's stupid funny. It's like the humor. Maybe I
Well,
grew up
that's
in
because the whole dumbing down humor and comedy.
I grew up in a different era.
Well, I grew up
I know.
same one. But there's something about the way that comedy used to happen.
Naturally.
Where people, well, that too. Where people would make fun of everything.
Hey,
And it was okay.
well, don't forget, like when we talk about comedians, the ones I grew up on, especially at a young age, because my dad gave 0 Fs when it came to playing stuff. He looked at my mom. He's going to learn sometime. Might as well learn with me.
See, that conversation never happened. We just played the
No, my dad's
Stuff.
thing was just like, I'm going to do what I want in my house. He had that very double Gemini attitude. I'm going to do what I
Oh.
want. Oh, yeah. And then my mom would be like, well, first of all, he's too young. And he'll look at me and pick me up and be like, are you too young? I'm like, no. He goes, see, he can speak for himself. So, now, with that being said, I'm going to do what I want. And the boy's going to... So, I grew up on, Lenny Bruce. That was the first one. Then Richard Pryor. Well, take that back. Red Fox.
Oh.
And Red gave no Fs.
No, he did not.
And then Richard Pryor. And then Eddie Murphy. And in between that time, Andrew Dice Clay,
Oh, yeah.
George Carlin,
George Carlin was my entry.
and Sam Kinison.
Oh, yeah. Sam was cool.
So, and then I had Bobcat Goldthwait.
Uh-huh.
It's
When he
like-
was doing comedy and not doing movies.
Yeah, Police Academy stuff.
A little
He
bit
was like,
different.
all that
Right.
crap. But it was literally, these are the guys I grew up on,
Right.
and they talked about everything.
Right.
And there wasn't, I'm not talking about the current issue with comedians right now. I'm not getting into that. What I'm talking about is where we were in the first half of getting into this, growing up in different generations
Right.
in comedy. Comedy was exactly that comedy. You ripped on everything. You didn't
Right.
care. There was like no like
Sacred ground.
taboo subject. Oh no.
No sacred
If
ground.
one person didn't touch it, another comic would. Mm-hmm. You know, and they talked about everything that was from like Red Fox. He would tell you about hygiene. You know, he talked about hygiene and just very, very other graphic sexual things. Richard Pryor turned his life into his comical like stand up. And people were like, "Oh yeah, that was funny," ha ha ha, and not knowing like 80% of that was
real.
truth.
Right.
No,
Well, and that's
every lie had 80% truth to it.
part of what I love about the comedians that I've hung around with is that they have turned their tragedy into comedy. Or just simple little things like when you were a kid and you went back to school and you're talking about what'd you get, for your first day of school?
Right.
I got the 64 pack of crayons with
Right.
the sharpener on the back. That is one of my favorite.
Recognize.
Right. That is one of my favorite things that Jay does. I don't think he still does it, but he used to do it all the time, and I loved it because it just brought me back to
wait.
yes.
Stop him when he lies.
Right.
That was true.
That was the truest thing.
That and the Trapper Keepers, yo.
Yes. Trapper
Keeper. Depending on what kind of lunchbox you had. Was it plastic or metal?
I had plastic.
I
had a Snoopy one.
But was it Clash of the Titans? Was it Super Friends? Have you seen how much
Snoopy.
these things are right now if you still have them? Oh,
I don't have it anymore.
man.
But I had it for a long time.
There's people who are willing to pay some good money, even if they're in like crap condition.
Really?
Oh yeah. The
Because
metal ones?
I have two Princess Leia's from 1977.
Actually, by you saying that, you need to talk to my VP.
Okay. I'm never getting rid of them.
I was like, because if you if you want to get rid of them, he's part of a community on Facebook that are hardcore, like Star Wars fans.
Oh, but
And
I
these
have the
guys-
Women of Star Wars collection, right?
Okay, see, you can get paid right now. You know
I'm a
that, right?
little bit like
Oh, you're a nerd. We already know this.
I'm a little bit more nerd than you even know.
I don't know about that. I think we're like tit for tat on the nerdness. I just try to conceal mine more.
Well, I'm more open than you.
Well, I don't know about that. I have an open heart and open mind. Hello.
Hello.
See what I did there? But on that same token, my nerdness is like it'll come out when it needs to. Mm-hmm. Like when people are like, "Oh, this was said during this part of Star Wars," I'm like,
No.
"No, actually, what took place was,
And
like he
say
was
it
sitting on
verbatim.
yeah, I've done that before." Because he was on the left-hand side, and then you had another guy behind him. He was wearing. People were looking at me, going, "How the?"
And his pants weren't tucked in right.
If you notice here, there's the camera mic hanging from here. Oh,
There
look
was no continuity in the shot.
do you see this right here? Jabba the Hutt. Yeah, Jabba wasn't Jabba. Jabba was actually a human in the beginning.
Right. Exactly.
And people are just like, "Wait, what?" I was like, "Yeah, you notice when he steps on his tail? Okay, that's him crossing over, but they actually like CG'd him in there and everything." And people are looking, going, "How the hell do you know this?" I was like,
Because we saw the original one in the theater.
I was like, "I'm a nerd."
And that.
And
too.
and there again, I saw the making of it. And don't forget, the making of videos and things back when we were growing up. That was a thing too.
Oh my God, it was the best.
Like, oh, here's Labyrinth. I'm like, all right, cool. Now I get to see how David Bowie did this whole thing with the crystals. Come to find out, the guy's name was Michael Motion. And then I'm like, oh, so that's who was doing this. And then you get to watch how this guy got prepared for this and how much work really went into the movie Labyrinth, which is now a freaking cult classic.
Right.
And then
Actually, in our separation, he got Labyrinth and I got what's the other one?
Dark Crystal.
Yes.
See, my nerd came out.
Yes.
The nerd is real.
We're like, we both really like these. We're we're going to have to figure out this is going to happen.
People are sitting here going, they've gone from comedians to nerddom to talking about movies and affirmations. We still go back to that.
Yes.
But it is. That's part of, like, I guess the genre we grew up in was the movies, the actors, and it's like, hey, how was this done? How was that done?
And then when DVDs came out,
Oh.
and you can listen to the cast
That's-
talking about
yes.
it. Oh my God.
Yeah, that was a thing.
So the first time I ever saw it with, why can't I remember anything today? I know, I'm brain dead. But at least I haven't hit the mic today. Hello.
See, what time is it now? Mhm. We'll mark that.
I still haven't hit it. Garden State. So the first time I watched that movie, have you ever watched it? Come on.
Continue.
Hit some nerdness. I watched it with the commentary, and it made me want to make film.
Really?
Yes.
You know what? I can understand that because after I saw Labyrinth and figured out who Michael Motion was, and I learned how to do the crystal juggling. And I found out the name of it was called contact juggling.
Really?
And then found out there was a huge community of contact
I
jugglers.
think we need to see this.
It was, yeah, I'm going to go leave here right now, go downstairs, get the crystals and bring them back. Yeah, I'm going to do that right now.
Go.
You know what? I just might do that for like a clip at the end somewhere.
Oh,
And then I'll
yes.
just do it.
We're going to film that. That's happening. Maybe that'll be on the TikTok.
Yeah, you can do that on TikTok too. Even though most of the stuff I have on my TikTok at Spectre357 is basically affirmations. I put some stuff on there for the veterans and things of that nature, but most of my stuff is stuff that I pull from like Instagram,
Right.
and certain things I see feel like they blend together. Like I'll sit there and go, "Oh, I like this. Oh, I like that." All of a sudden, I'll just get in a mood to post a TikTok. And
I've never posted to
I did, and I just went. I go like this. I'm like, okay, this picture,
have one.
then this picture, then this picture, then this picture, then this picture. Then I'll add some music that I feel would blend in with it. And after I sit there and think about it, I'm like, what is this about? Raising the vibration. I want people to be blessed today. I want people to understand that they're not alone. You know, keep raising your frequencies. You know, stay positive. Don't let things get to you. Look at some of the things I'm posting here. How to protect your energy. Understanding that there are other things out here that can help you. You are a conscious being. Understand that you do matter. And affirm that. So it kind of goes back to like what we talk about with the previous one, doing the 10-day challenge, 5 days of yours, 5 days of mine, of different meditations and things of that nature. And my affirmations, I just feel certain times people need to feel or be told certain things or have an enlightening moment. And I actually did one TikTok that it actually has like 10,000 likes on it.
Wow.
And that blew my mind because I posted it. I'm like, all right, cool. Left it alone. Went to bed. Woke up the next day. Was moving around doing a bunch of stuff. And I said, you know what? I get a feeling I should post another affirmation deal. So I was gathering everything together, what I was going to put for the next one. And I logged in. I looked down. I was like, whoa. I was like, okay.
Yeah, Nefera was
when
telling me
did
that
happen?
the algorithm for TikTok is really bizarre, but good because it will actually feature more people than anything else. Like YouTube is selective as heck, and Facebook's kind of whatever. It's just, I don't know. I don't know how it works at all.
Well, I'm not sure about the algorithms for YouTube, but it's like I keep telling people subscribe so we know.
Right.
Because I was like, I don't see you listed as a subscriber. Subscribe.
Get it together.
Well,
Subscribe.
well, at least if I know you subscribe, my thing is you can still hit me up here. You know, the reason we haven't done a lot of videos is because of, you know, current life situations that we have to deal with.
I'm not a
And-
multi-billionaire and I can't just support us.
Right, you know. If we had the billions of dollars that we would want, there would be a lot of different things going on. which I'm not going to talk about on here because not everybody needs to know my business. Because not everybody, and that's another thing, people, watchers in general, don't tell everybody what you're working on. Don't tell everybody
See,
every project. Reason I'm saying that
I
is
understand
not
why.
everybody's going to be rooting for you. There are
That's
some
okay.
haters that throw that hater energy out on you, and they could put stumbling blocks in front of you. Not everyone is happy for you being who you are.
But I'm such a
know.
collaborator. It's really hard for me
I'm not
not
disagreeing
to
with you on that. I'm
do
with you.
that. Because I'm actually holding a secret from everyone with one of my friends right now. And it's driving me crazy.
Well, like, here's the thing. We talk about agree to disagree, right? I'm agreeing with you. I like for people to get involved in you because you never know. You might bring up something and that one person hears it and goes, oh, that's all they need? But I got you covered. Here, hold
Right.
on.
Like
But
the vans.
Yeah.
The vans we're looking for.
she's looking for that.
I'm like, you want one
She-
too. Don't lie.
I will not confirm or deny said allegations in
wants
any
one.
above stated matter.
I need to.
I would not say no to a Sprinter. Black.
Right. I need to have black too because there's no other color for a vehicle.
Let's see. I would like to have a nice sound system in there somewhere I can install an iPad. Because you know me, music. I want good speakers in there. And
Well, mine's got to have an editing bay, so. Hello? What?
I just need something to
This
travel.
is my editing bay.
Well, I know. But, I just need that area to travel in, to store things I need to store in there.
And
be
sleep.
all good. Well, I'll still do a hotel for that.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I don't necessarily have to. On my trip that we never talked about, that I hit, all that. I slept in my car a couple of times.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
My mom would probably kill me if she knew that. But
Hope Mom is a subscribed
She
viewer.
doesn't
to watch this
even,
point of view. And Mom,
watch.
she said it.
She
I
doesn't
told her to stay in
even-
a hotel. She didn't listen.
Didn't even know I had a website.
Wow.
I'm like, yeah, why
that
don't you
one
just
is
go to my website, with my company name. Hello?
Well, you know what? And that's the thing too. You talk about people taking their trauma and turning it into something positive. When you told me about that fat girl this, that fat girl that, and I remember, I got to tell you this too. 'cause
But it
I'm
wasn't
just-
even trauma. I thought it was cool.
Right. But talk about the shaming part of stuff. I actually was telling a friend and a couple of people, they were asking me about the podcast. I was like, yeah, myself, that fat girl Dana on there, and they kind of went,
Yeah.
like, really? Like me, of all people, making that comment. And I'm like, what?
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, you never sat and watched any episodes of
You
of
have
our
no
podcast.
idea.
And they're like, well, no, we've seen the podcast. I was like, no. You've seen it on Facebook, on the Watcher's Point of View link that we have, the page.
Right.
I'm like, you never sat down or listened to any of the podcasts or watched us on YouTube, have you? And they're like, oh, well, I'm like, no. Because
It's okay.
if you did see us, you would understand. I said, because her and I bring that up, like, right away.
Right.
So people kind of understand what the hell is going on with that.
See, and I had, because we had mic flags made up and I had my logo on it. And I handed it to one of the people who was interviewing something we were doing. And she's like, I don't feel comfortable with this. And I was like, why? It's me. She goes, I just don't. And I was like, all right, no problem. But it doesn't bother me. I'm the fat one.
You know what? And that's why, when I made the statement, it was just like, I like mouth agape. And I'm just like,
Yeah.
oh, okay.
Well, it's good for shock value and to remember it. Because
Well-
I got a job just because she remembered my company name
Nice.
and not my actual name.
And that's kind of effed up in so many different ways. But I remember talking to a couple of friends, and I was telling them, hey, listen, I got a couple ideas for the next episode. And you would have thought we were doing a movie production.
Okay.
Because I was telling them things about, I was like, well, we're starting to hit spirituality up a little bit more. We're talking about meditation. And I was like, I've gotten emails, man, and like messages. People want us to like stick on this for like a couple more months.
Okay.
I'm like, they want us to like talk about more meditation, more affirmations, and they want to see some of the banter come back, before we go into that kind of serious stuff. I'm like, really?
But
Like, and I kind of like giggle. I was like, so you want us to have a format?
No.
I was just like,
We can have some topics.
I was like, yeah. I was
Format's
like,
probably
no,
not.
No, I was like, that ain't gonna work for us.
I'm really freeform.
Yeah, right. And I was telling my buddy about it, right? And I was like, people want to hear about. It's like they want us to, like, have the YouTube strictly, and it's like, screw putting things in audio. We want to watch, and
And we need to go out and get camera people.
Right.
Oh, I have a new camera person.
Nice. But I was talking
Let's
to my
do
buddy.
stuff.
Wow, she went there. But when I told my buddy about this, right, he's like, well, and I swear to God, he turned to a movie producer. Like, he's going to give me the freaking money to, like, start hosting, like, the Watchers Network.
Nice.
Because he was just like, well, I'm liking that a lot. And I think what you should do is, while you're talking about that, I want you to fade off into, like, when you're doing the sneak thing, because you're really passionate about that, you should fade to the bunny.
I could do that.
And I'm like, huh? He goes, yeah, I think the bunny needs to be seen. I'm like, okay.
I could make that happen.
Well, I know you could.
Not a problem.
And then he's just like, well, every time you're passionate about something, you should fade to it. And I was like, dude, let me explain something to you about this. Certain things we talk about, you don't want us to fade into.
Probably not.
I'm like, yeah, because, some people will laugh and other people are going to need an explanation. I was like, so I'm like, no, there's no fading into anything. He goes, but if you cut to like certain things, I'm like, no, see, you don't understand here. Okay. I was like, granted, when we talk about manifestation, I said, yeah, we can cut into something, or I said we talk about Egyptology or comedic arts or old school, like, alchemy and things of that nature. Yeah, you can cut to an alchemy, like, photo, this, that, and the other. So, yeah, I'm with you on that. I said, but you're talking about me cutting into, like, wearing, like, ritual robes and, shit like that. No, that ain't happening. He goes, no, but, if we cut into that and watch something taking place.
You have ritual robes?
Yeah.
Really? Yeah. Mm-hmm. I do not.
Oh, well, you got to.
No, I don't.
Whatever. Well,
no.
There's always skyclad, but,
Well, that's something I wanted to discuss with you.
Yeah, but hold up.
Okay.
Think about what I'm saying now.
I understand what you're saying.
And this fool's like, well, yeah, why don't we go ahead and why don't we cut to that and go right to that scene? What the
That scene?
I'm like,
we're going to act out a scene?
And I'm sitting here doing this going, dude, it's a podcast.
I'll do it.
And my thing's like this. It's a podcast. We're sitting here discussing different things. We're having fun. We're bantering. You're talking about having a movie production where we're going to CGI like I'm going to have like a Venom costume come over me kind of thing.
Oh, I don't know how to do that.
Well, that's the way he's talking. Well, we should go ahead and cut to that scene and we should actually have this happen. I'm like, dude, what the hell are you talking about?
Can we get like an artist? Maybe they could do it as a cartoon.
I don't, it would have to be like we have to talk about it and have the cartoon playing in the background, right? Like some of the other.
Well,
like,
if we got this to be a green screen, we can have that happen behind.
Actually, I could get a green screen. That's not a problem.
I have a green screen.
So why should we have to get one then?
Well, I mean. Wow.
Yeah, I went there.
The rudeness.
Oh, my back.
The total rudeness.
No, but you know how weird that is for someone to sit here and they've watched us, mind you. They've watched us. They've seen the banter. They've seen us go back and forth. They see us have no structure for topics. We jump from one thing to another.
Hey, the meditation one was as structured as we're ever going to get.
Very true. Very true.
Ever.
Anytime we're talking about spiritual stuff to that degree, we are structured. There's no doubt about it. But when he saw that, he's like, but I like what you guys do. He goes, I like the fact that you free flow and there's nothing there like holding you back. You two just sit here and talk. I'm like, why do you have to say it in that creepy
why do you sound like
director voice?
You've got sweaty balls.
He was just but no, He was just like, man, I really believe that in what you're doing here with the Watcher's point of view. I actually like how you keep Save 22 right there with you. I was like, well, Save 22 is the first group that was really far out of state that we dealt with from the club. Our first group was Operation Combat Bike Saver, and I was at Mike Rowe, did a whole big thing with them.
Okay.
And they're a great bunch of guys too. Can't help but have love for them. But our first really quote unquote out of state, Illinois into Indiana is like,
yeah,
that's nothing.
For me, it's walking across
Right?
the street practically.
But traveling out to Ohio,
It's a little further.
and then an area of Ohio that, I was like, oh, this is Ohio. Oh, this is real. Not, where the hell am I at? Because it went from, I was looking around and I'm like, okay, I'm getting out to Expressway. Okay, there's a building here. There's another building.
There's a cornfield.
No, there wasn't cornfields. First thing I noticed was there was no like street lights.
Oh, so it's like my house.
And I'm like, okay. And I'm looking further down the road and there's still no street lights. I'm, man, when it gets dark out here, it's going to get dark than a mofo.
Welcome to my house.
Got a little bit further down and I didn't know darker could get darker. Because darker turned into The Hills Have Eyes.
Yeah, kind of.
And then it turned into, I'm like, man, this is how Stephen King shit starts.
But you can see the stars so clearly.
I will agree with that.
Parts of the Milky Way are
That
amazing.
is nuts. But I will say, when I was out there, it was a great time. Great brothers and sisters out there. Literally going out to Carrollton, Ohio is having another family out there for me.
Aw.
It really is. No, I swear to God, it's a whole family out there for me. Whether it's Tom, Jason, Marcia, Albert, going out there to visit those guys is a literal another brother and sister family out there. Like, I don't have, if I'm really hurting, I don't have to worry where I'm staying. I got a house. I don't want for anything while I'm there. And vice versa. They don't want for anything if I'm there either.
Right.
It's like we literally look after each other. And that's the way life should be. Take care of your fellow man.
It's called community.
And that's what it is. It really is. It's really deep over there, though. But it goes back to, like I said, with my guy was saying, I think we should do here is we should cut into these things and show like what's going on. And like anytime you discuss anything that's really passionate, we should cut to it and actually have something like happening. And I'm like,
do you know much freaking B-roll I would need for that?
Right. And
I only have 5 terabytes.
And that's what I'm screaming to myself going,
that's a lot of stuff.
okay, so
we talk about a lot of stuff.
you want me to leave the house, go film a certain segment, what we talked about, cut to that segment, and then cut back to me being in the house. That's it. So
so we're doing reporting.
That's
kind
where,
of?
but it was like,
We're back.
but it's like
back to you in the studio.
right. But it was like, okay, how am I supposed to do that, bro? Well, if we get everyone together, we can actually
Who's everyone?
And that's where you see now. You see where I'm going. You see where I'm going now, right?
Yes.
You see where I'm going. But he was just like so cool about it, like we should go back and figure out how we're gonna do this and go back to what, huh?
Reporting live from the front yard.
Now, here's the thing. Can we go live? Yes, we can go live.
Yeah.
We have a portable system. We have a portable mix board that we can go live at any location.
Heck, we have phones. We can go live anywhere.
Well, that's true, but a more professional setup and everything.
Yeah.
We got the cameras, we got lighting, we got everything we need. But the way he's talking is just like not going live. It is like I said, it's a movie production. I'm like, no. Well,
I could be down.
I can give you guys the money to help offset. What are you talking about?
Okay, so here's my idea.
I'm like, what do you want me to start cutting?
I hit it! Yes! Yay!
See, stupid stuff like that. That's all it took.
I was just moving my headphone.
Yeah, whatever. But
wire.
You still hit it. Whatever.
Whatever. I keep sinking in this chair too. Have you noticed that? I've
Yeah.
never done that before.
You're small.
I
You
am
are small.
small.
You cannot help it. She is short. She does not
Yeah,
understand.
but if I'm sitting up straight, I am the same height as you sitting, which is weird.
Yeah,
'cause
you.
I'm 5'1" and you're
6'4".
really tall.
6'4". Yeah.
So you apparently have no upper body.
You know what
You're
I
all
should?
legs.
You know what I should do?
What?
I should tell him that Buc-ee's is coming to Kentucky. Okay.
And we need
and
we
we're
need the van.
Yeah, right. Because I kept saying, Lady Danny and I were gonna take a road trip out to not Kentucky, to Texas,
Right.
and to do.
But now they're gonna do the one in.
and they're gonna do Buc-ee's, and there again we're gonna do the food out there too. It's gonna be
Right.
a 2-for-1, kill two birds with one stone, and just do a lot.
and
of
go to my
film.
cousin's.
I don't know about going to your cousins, but
No,
yeah,
my cousin's deli. It's
I'm
amazing.
messing with you. Well, go ahead, promote that real quick. Okay. Oh wait, go ahead.
I don't know.
It's your cousin. You tell me go to a deli that you don't have
Yeah.
any information on. Okay,
Off
information
the top
will
of
be
my head.
okay. Here, what
It's
hold on.
Weinberger's.
What I want you to do is when we branch about your cousin in the deli,
I'm gonna bring up his.
I want
logo.
you to right here, right now. I want you to cut to that with me doing this. When I'm doing this, cut to that to show the logo, and
Cut to.
I want you to, and I'll pay for that. I'll pay for you guys to do that, and make sure you have their contact information listed.
I could do that.
Yeah, I'm making fun of my buddy.
Hey.
No, but seriously, I would like to see you cut to that screen. But
I will.
yeah, place I'll be going to. I don't know if anybody can see that. Buc-ee's. Yeah, because
Just pick a camera.
yeah. Well, Lady Danny went to Buc-ee's when she went to go see some of her family, and she picked me up a bunch of stuff from Buc-ee's, and she goes, "Yeah, you need to go." I was like, "Gee, thanks, rub it in."
But
She goes, "No,
is
you
it
need
supposed
go."
to be the same?
The
scale?
same size? Oh yeah, the one in
In
Kentucky is supposed to
Kentucky?
be like
And
huge.
Kentucky's really not that far.
No, Kentucky isn't far, so that's why I'm kind of like, well, that just saves me a few hours driving.
Right.
The biggest part of getting into Kentucky is cutting through Indiana
Yeah.
because that's a 5-hour drive. Period.
And 65 is always
Mm-hmm.
horrific.
So I've already made up my mind to, because like I said, when traveling to Tennessee, the longest part of my trip was cutting through.
It's going through Indiana.
Indiana.
Yeah.
And the funny part about that was I was driving. I'm like, I'm like, oh, look, Zionsville. I was like, I got about another hour and a half drive. And no, seriously, I literally had known in my head, like certain areas, how much more time I had left
Well,
in Indiana.
because I was going to Georgia for like months on end. So that trip was just like,
Whatever.
9.5 hours, whatever.
And
And most of it's freaking Indiana.
so, like I said, when I heard they're actually building in Kentucky, I'm like,
Do you know
"Say
where
less."
in Kentucky?
Well, while we wait here, let me look it up real quick. Don't start that. I got to make sure the music doesn't kick on now.
Right?
Because God forbid my music kicks on and
Then we have to edit.
right, and you
don't have choices.
Sorry, guys, you shouldn't have done that.
Well,
Okay, Buc-ee's, Kentucky.
yes, you are watching us look.
Well, yeah, she brought it up, and I'm like, well, I don't remember. We'll find out though.
Weinberger's Deli is in
Well, no.
Texas.
You're gonna. What I want you to do is cut to that.
I'm gonna
Put it
cut
right
to
here.
that.
Yeah,
And
that'll be perfect. Thank you.
I'll put my cousin Dan on there.
Yeah, put cousin. We want to see cousin Dan.
Yeah, it's his deli. They actually used my grandmother's recipe for
Richmond,
Italian
Kentucky.
beef. Richmond, where's that at?
I don't know. I'm about to find out.
Find out.
Richmond, Kentucky, Buc-ee's. Buc-ee.
Do-do-do-do-do. Yeah. Oh, have you watched on Netflix
Oh, what?
How to Be a Cowboy?
What the?
Yeah.
How to be a cowboy?
I think it's How to Be a Cowboy. Isn't that what I would?
Okay.
It's interesting because it is the kind of complete opposite of the cowboys I grew up with.
I really don't want to know. Well, I will say this. Apparently, it's your typical drive. You have to cut through Indiana because it's saying it's a 6 hour drive. Like, boom.
Yeah. So it must be.
So,
You can't get any closer than that?
well, I can. I have to let it load up.
Ooh.
Yeah, 6 hour drive. Period.
Yippee.
Fastest route.
But is it by like
Let's see. You're past
Louisville?
Bloomington. No, it's gonna be past Louisville.
Well, if it's only
Yeah,
6
see,
hours,
it's
it's
past
not that far.
Louisville. It's closer to Lexington,
Oh, okay.
from what it shows here.
Mm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Closer to
know.
Lexington and close
Isn't
to
this exciting?
Manchester. Well, you bring it up and people, you know what, since they brought it up, I want to see them cut to it. Yeah,
We're going to cut to him zooming on
just-
the Google Maps.
Yeah, we're going to cut to the map.
Can you screen record that for me? Do you know how to do that?
No, but what I will do is actually take a photograph of it on the phone and then send it to you and you can put it all together.
I think I could just put it in and just
Right.
screen record it because
That is comical.
I'm not going to do it.
I think, you know what, it's silly and stupid enough now that when we start having things of this, I'm just going to turn into, you know, what I'd like to see you do. I want to see you cut to the screen and, you know, let's put that in there. I think the
I'm just
audience
gonna put
wants
that
to see that.
right there.
And like I said, I still, it's kind of like when you said stoned, you know, we
Right.
should, I
We
want you
have
to,
to describe that.
you know what, I want you to cut to a picture of someone stoned, and then I want you to cut
take out
to the,
stones out
and
of
then
every
I-
pocket that I have.
and then I want you to cut to actual crystals, cut to the crystals, and yeah, that'll be nice. So.
Oh, and then I have. Oh, damn it! I
Yes!
hit it again. I have
I mean,
it on
what?
this wrist.
Uh-huh.
I'm really stoned up.
So yeah, that's definitely, you know, I think the audience wants you to cut to the stone part. Well, you know, she's not really stoned, right? Yeah, but I think we need to cut to the stones. I think people want to see the stones.
Maybe I could just take, video of my stones that are all over my room.
Well, you know what?
keeping my
And
life
here's the part
In
too.
balance.
It's kind of like you can kind of throw that part back in here when we're talking about the stones, and then, yeah, what I want you to do is go back, and when we're talking about this, I want you to go back and bring yourself up, and then I want you to cut to the house and the stones.
Got to.
Yeah, that's what I want to see. We should go right to the stones. People want to see it. Oh, yeah. Next thing you know, people are gonna be like, "You guys are doing a stand-up podcast / movie thing
It's
here."
called improv.
Oh,
And
it's
I'm starting a new group, actually.
a new improv group.
Yep.
Okay, what's that called?
Oh, we haven't named it yet.
Okay, so you're in the make. Well, I want you to cut to the name
So-
of the improv group.
But it is going to be with one of my friends that I did the show with.
Oh, okay, that's awesome.
Yeah, I'm really
Good
excited.
stuff, good
I'm really
stuff.
excited about that.
You're also doing the travel thing.
Yes.
Right. What's
And
the
that's what
name?
I need the van for.
What's the name of that? gonna be called?
Vacation Drive-By. Because it's how my trip was. See, I don't take trips like normal people where they go somewhere and they stay there for a week.
Vacation drive-by.
Yes, Vacation Drive-By.
You can't tell someone, "All right, I want you to cut to the drive-by." Think about that for a moment. Let's cut to the drive-by. No, I understand what you're doing. I understand the comical side of because you're
It's not
driving
even
by.
comical.
No, you're driving by one state to another state because everything has comedy in it.
Well, yeah. Cause
All right, because if you remember correctly, when you were doing your state-by-state drive,
Yes.
you were not alone.
Yes, I
That's what
was
said.
not alone.
That's what I'm saying. There's comedy involved in there.
I was with my little friend,
Right, exactly.
Pocket Lint.
So that's why I was like, you don't say that there wasn't comedy there.
Oh, there was tons of comedy there.
Precisely. So that's why I was like, you know what? I would like you to.
But
cut
I
to-
really needed a camera person.
I understand, but you need to cut to the
And
pocket lint.
That is okay.
Yeah,
I will cut to
we're gonna-
Pocket
we're gonna
Lint. Pocket
cut
Lint
to
is
the
still in
pocket
my
lint
car.
right now. Cut to pocket lint.
Pocket
Yeah.
Lint's in my car.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, it's a travel companion, so
Yes.
it needs to be in the
It
vehicle.
travels with me to work. They are non-binary.
And people.
Well, they are. They're Pocket Lint. They can't have a sex. What?
Let's cut to the androgynous pocket lint. I would like you to. Yeah.
Yes. So if you
Wow,
want to
that just
find
happened.
a pocket lint, hashtag pocket lint, you can find all of my travels with pocket lint.
Hashtag pocket lint.
Pocket lint. My
You know what?
battery's dying on this one.
Oh, okay. I see
Do we
that.
want to hold on for a second so I can change it?
No, because
Because we've been on here for 8 hours.
Oh, we're only been on an hour and 25. But
That's
you know
it?
what? If you're, yeah, right. But here's the thing: if it is going out, that's cool. No
Okay.
problem.
We could just use this one.
we can use that one alone, or what we could do is sign off
Okay.
for now. Because, like I said, this was just a quick update. You know, right?
An
You like-
update.
yeah. I want you to laugh really deep for the quick update because we know there's 90% BS in that statement.
Right. It's not even this is an episode.
Right. Right.
I mean, come
But
on.
it was like a follow up with everything
Yeah.
and talking about the affirmations, some of the stuff that's been going on and things of that nature. So I think our next episode will go back into hitting up again about the spiritual stuff.
Okay.
As I said, people really wanted to know about that. So
What are your questions, spiritual seekers?
Well, I want to know, what do you guys want to know more about? The awakening? You want to know about chakras, things of that nature? Let us know. I know that camera just died
Yeah, it
out
just
on
died.
us. So camera one died. So we're going to be on.
I need to order
here.
new batteries.
That's cool. But on this other camera here,
Hi.
what we're going to be doing is signing off so we don't lose that camera, which I doubt we will.
No, this one's fine.
Oh yeah, it's cool though. At the end of this, you will see once again some of the people that we endorse. You know, that we're literally not sponsored by. Veteran groups that we're affiliated with, and I'm affiliated with groups and companies that we have actually tried their products out that are totally worth it. And if they say, you know, hey, where'd you see us at, or where'd you hear about us, let them know to watch the point of view, send them.
And then tell them to send us money.
Not like I said, I don't get any discounts or anything from these people. It's
We just really like their stuff.
and, you know, a lot of times businesses need this right now because most of the businesses we deal with, you know, like Sneak is not a brand name that you get in every freaking store.
Well, you can't get it
You
in
know.
any store.
Right, you know, it's an internet deal.
Yeah.
Killcliff, I'm not sure if they're in stores or not, but if they are, oh my God, get you at least a 12-pack. Don't tease yourself with a 4-pack. They said these other groups, check them out, man. The veteran groups, if you guys need any help, you're seeking help, you're not alone out here. We got a lot of different options here for you. You know, it's okay not to be okay. Let people know that you need help. Reach out, we'll be there, or we'll get someone there to you. Doesn't matter what state you're in. Okay. As for, like I said, the upcoming episodes, we'll hit up with the spiritual stuff still.
Yep.
You know, we'll still talk about it for a while since that's what's been requested. Granted, we had our own ideas of stuff, but if that's what the people want, man,
Yep.
you know, I'll
We need to
I'll
get
do-
into ghost stories.
well, yeah. Yeah, might as well talk about some of the paranormal stuff we've dealt
Yeah.
with, your personal stuff, my personal stuff. So I say on the next episode, we hit up the spiritual stuff.
All right.
Middle.
Okay.
I say we get our paranormal stuff out the way first.
Well, because it's almost Halloween.
Right. You know, so
We
let's
should
get
do that.
so let's get the paranormal out the way.
Out the way, it's the best.
Well, yeah. Well, once again, though, because some people are going to listen to some of the spiritual stuff, and
Right.
then they're going to hear the paranormal. And some of the paranormal stuff, let's be honest, is a lot of banter too, because it's too stupid to make up, and the things that are out there are like, no, that didn't happen. But when you have,
yes, it did.
but you know, with different footage that we have from different places you've been, I've been, and you know, I believe I still have some audio that I have
Really?
on the side, yeah.
Nice.
And you'll literally hear me having a conversation if I can find it with a spirit.
Need to hear that.
No, it's nuts. Like when we were the team that I was with, which is my personal team that I started, not my other teams I've hung out
Work
with
with.
and stuff. you'll hear me talking, and then I can literally hear a response of a voice behind me.
Nice.
And the conversation matched up when you listen to the audio.
Wow.
Like, literally.
Wow.
It's like, I'm hearing him say this, I'm hearing him say that. And
See,
when you
you
listen
hear,
to audio,
you see too, don't you?
I'm the six Claires.
Okay.
get
I
each of the
just
six Claires.
feel and sometimes hear,
Mm-hmm.
but I feel the emotion of, which
I get
is whatever.
I get you. Yeah, the six
And the
Claires.
dreams.
Yeah. And that's another thing we'll put right here. The six Claires.
Here is now. I'm just gonna block the whole screen.
You're gonna block the whole screen
Yeah.
out? Especially since I just did like this and you went, okay, I'm gonna block out the whole screen.
I'm gonna do it on the screen. I'm gonna like fade it in and then fade it out. Because that's what I do. I'm awesome that way.
Yeah, but you know what? We'll actually hit about that too. Talk about the Claires
Okay.
and break it down for people so they can.
Because you're actually the first person that's ever said that to me.
What, the Claires?
Yeah. I didn't know
Well-
what they were before.
I prefer to use the name Claires
Okay.
because it instead of going, well, clairsentience, clairaudience,
Right.
let's just break it down to each Claire is. And then you'll be like, oh. Because clairvoyant.
It's all Claire's.
Right. Claire. Just call them the
I
six
don't know why I
Claires.
went to Breakfast Club. Claire.
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 It's a family name.
It's a fat girl's name.
Thank you. I'm not fat. You know. See, movies like that, you couldn't like.
You
movies
couldn't have
like
that movie
couldn't have
now?
that movie. No,
No. That remake would be horrible.
Because it's like it's about bullying. It's about no, it's not, man. That was high school, yo.
It wasn't my high school.
Shit, that was like grammar school to some people too.
I actually know somebody who works in that building. It's a building for. It's not a high school.
It was never a high school.
I don't believe so. But she just started working there. Somebody in the cast that I was just in.
Really? That's
Yeah,
interesting.
I forget where because she was working for.
We might put it here.
I don't know.
Might put it.
I'll ask her.
I want you to fade too.
Fading to Dana can't remember anything because she's old.
I want that across here as a banner. Put that banner on.
Can I
there.
make it flash and then
If you want to,
scroll
yes,
across?
yes, that.
Crawl across. That would be a crawl. This
Yes.
is a scroll. Crawling across. Dana is old.
With a flash. There we go. Good times. Good times.
What kind of font?
Let me think. Bold.
Bold what?
Bold
Just
Arial.
bold. Oh, God, could you pick the most boring font
Yes,
ever?
I can.
Good God.
Yeah.
I'm putting something explosive and cool.
Do you, boo boo? Do you?
I usually do.
That I'm well aware of. I'm well freaking aware of that. But, yeah. You okay?
I'm great.
I'm going to put a picture of you laughing when you're like this, and then I want you to fade to a picture of the Joker. And I want you to marry those two up. Yeah, I want you to like mix those. Okay, if you can fade into that, that'll be awesome.
Mm-hmm. That would be like a partial.
But that's what I want to see. I want to see that.
That's not really my skill set.
We'll give you the money for it.
Oh, okay. I can find somebody who would do that.
All of a sudden now you can do it. I got you.
No, I can find somebody who would do it.
I bet you could. Well, money you can find anything almost.
That's what I'm talking about.
Whatever.
Like a Sprinter van.
Okay, right now I want you to fade into the Sprinter van right now. And know what the sad part about is people are gonna be like, I don't believe they're actually doing that. Yeah, we're
Yes,
doing
we are.
it. Yeah, we're doing it.
I am not shameless.
Right. I was like, there is. Oh, you know what? We're going to bring that up and then we're leaving.
Okay.
Shameless. Season.
My mom just finished watching it.
Oh, my God.
Here's the thing. I
They
stopped watching
gave-
it a couple of seasons ago.
I kept watching it just because of sure morbidness. Okay. I'm morbid because certain things that they discussed about Southside, this, that, and the other community, and how certain Southsiders are. I'm like, you know what? They actually get a point,
Right.
because they talked about a lot of old school stuff, but when they talked about, they hit a lot of political stuff that people are like, some people that had saw it, they're like, oh man, I didn't like season 11. I'm like, why? They're like, it was just boring. It didn't mean anything, blah, blah, blah. Well, I said, well, let me see what it's like, because I didn't think they were going to come out with it. And then when I saw it, I'm like, yeah, you guys don't understand because you're not from Illinois.
You
I'm
have
like,
no idea.
I'm like, everything that they discussed in there made sense.
Well,
It's
and my mom
literally
is
old
actually
school.
from around White Sox Park.
Okay.
So she's, really connected with that situation.
Like I said, when I saw it at first, I'm like, yeah, if you're not from Illinois, first off, you're not going
Right.
to understand it.
And if you're not
And if
from
you're
the
not-
northern part of Illinois.
But they ripped on everyone. They hit up south, north, and west side.
Nice.
Effing West Siders. I'm like, oh God. I'm like,
And you
sad
know
part
what?
that is kind of like the West Side looks like.
What I don't really understand is the east side. It's a lake. There's no east side.
Well, here's the thing.
It's a lake.
Yeah, there is an east side. but we'll discuss
There
that later.
is, but there, like growing up, there was never an east side.
Well,
in my life.
That's because it was either you like the White Sox, South Side, you like the Cubs, North Side, and that was your stomach.
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
It was very
I'm talking
loud.
about- and I was
sorry
like-
about that.
I was kind of looking around too, because at first, we're talking about all this paranormal stuff, and all of a sudden I
Forgot
kind
I
of looked
haven't
around.
eaten.
I did one of these numbers like,
No, it was me. It was my
oh,
stomach.
okay.
It was
I
not the
I was-
creak in the
No, I was
kitchen
trying to
like
be
the
cool
other
about
day.
that. Kind of, I'm trying to look around like, what the F?
No, it was
Okay.
me. Never mind. Go
Cool.
ahead.
Well, we're gonna get you some food now and sign off. I want to fade off to the Impossible Burger, and
Actually, that kind of.
never mind. Anyway,
Let's move on.
precisely. So, as always, it's lovely having you around. It's comical, good banter. It's been a good show. Every show's good, I feel, because
It's a fun time.
yeah, exactly. It's a fun time, definitely, and it's too comical and too stupid to make up. These things happen on our show. The booping on the mics, the whole shebang. And I didn't hit mine. You did twice, but whatever. Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of myself, JP Spector, my co-host, that fat girl Dana, wishing you much love, peace, and happiness. Please keep an open heart and open mind, especially in these trying times. Agree to disagree with each other. Don't lose out, and don't let people separate you for political reasons. Don't be separated for these little, small, different things. Don't let a piece of paper separate the love, the friendships, and the things that are going on that you've had previously before this pandemic hit. Just stay together, love one another, love each other. Keep raising the vibrations, keep the frequency high, keep the positivity high, keep giving yourself those positive affirmations, and reaffirm for others that they are worth it. Always, always, always let people know while they're alive and living.
Yes.
Let them know how good they are. Let them know that their lives do matter. Veterans, people who are in public service, fire, medical, guys aren't alone out here. You guys have PTSD too, or PTS. And just, if you need help, man, reach out. It's okay not to be okay, people. In these trying times, it's okay not to be okay. But
And
always,
anytime it's okay.
period.
Yeah.
Period. So once again, with an open heart, open mind, much love to everyone out here. Look after each other. Love one another. Watch Point of Views out. Until next time. Peace.
Peace.